taken for granted. During the reign of the big three, Ichigo and Bleach as a whole has always been getting the short end of the stick. And in terms of Ichigo's character, due to being compared to Luffy and Naruto, no one really appreciated what Ichigo had to offer. Ichigo was written off as boring, and he was ridiculed for not having a goal. Someone would say, Ichigo is boring and he has no goal, and that's why I can't like his character. But Ichigo doesn't need a goal for you to invest in his character, and that's what makes him great. Because unlike the things that people like to criticize for being tropes in other series, such as a character always wanting to be strong or eating a lot of food, and we all know that is a constant stereotype that is used in many manga. People just seem to forget, or maybe they just never knew in the first place, that during this time period, Bleach was doing something different with its protagonist. Unlike Naruto and Luffy, Ichigo was not some happy-go-lucky guy who just somehow pushed through everything that was thrown his way. Don't get what I'm saying twisted though, because Ichigo does push through things, and he is definitely a fighter. However, he was not the fighter that anyone was used to. If you really want to get down to it, this character is a real breath of fresh air. And one of the best qualities to Ichigo's character is the fact that he's an older brother. This is a quality that really separates Ichigo from a lot of characters. The only characters that really possess this quality that I can think of off the top of my head are Rin and Tanjiro, and even then, Ichigo is a step away from those two characters. Unlike those characters and his rivals in the big three, Ichigo didn't really possess that much of a kind heart, and he wasn't so willing to throwing himself in the line of danger in order to save others. We see that as an older brother, he takes the initiative and protects his family and his other siblings, and he prioritizes the life of his family over the lives of other people. And this is really just a relatable aspect to Ichigo's character that is just thrown under the rug by people who don't want to use their brain when they look at Bleach. Especially when they try to downplay Ichigo's character and compare him to other protagonists. You see, people are wrong for trying to compare Ichigo to these other characters because he's nothing like these other characters. So there's really nothing to compare. Unless you really want to talk about how different he is compared to the rest of the other shonen casts. Most people like to complain about shonen following tropes, and then when they receive a character that doesn't follow a trope, they just try to shit on him. To me, that really just makes no sense whatsoever, and honestly, you really just can't please everybody. They get tired of characters that eat a lot and are stereotypical in their eyes, but when there's a character that doesn't follow any stereotypes, it becomes a problem now because he's boring or doesn't have a goal. You see, Ichigo actually offers a lot of nuance to what has been pre-established in shonen. Naruto wants to be the Hokage, Luffy wants to be the Pirate King, but Ichigo doesn't really want to do anything. You see, his character is forced into doing things that he doesn't want to do. But granted, he still does them out of a sense of responsibility and for the simple fact that Ichigo wouldn't be able to live with himself for doing something scummy or something that he would deem as morally wrong. For example, when Ganju asks Ichigo why is he trying so hard to save a Soul Reaper, his main reason for wanting to save Rukia is because he feels a responsibility and a sense of debt to Rukia because she saved Ichigo's life and allowed him to save the lives of his family. This is where the factor of Ichigo being an older brother really ties into his character. Because he loves his family and his siblings so much, he feels indebted to Rukia for helping him save his family. Through Ichigo's perspective at this moment, he feels that it is his fault for Rukia's misfortune. And so he's going to take the responsibility and face the problem head on. The best part about it all is that he's not doing this because he feels obligated to help Rukia, Ichigo is saving Rukia for himself. You see, he's selfish, unlike a lot of other characters in manga. And Ichigo's selfishness makes him selfless in moments where he's doing the right thing. Ichigo's not saving Rukia for the sake of saving her. He's saving her because she helped him. And that's why I'm saying Ichigo is selfish. Most people would look at this situation and say, oh, Ichigo's about to go save Rukia, so he's a selfless hero. But the thing is, ultimately trying to understand his character and understanding why he is doing what he's doing makes you really get to see the different layers to his character. When Ichigo does things for his own personal satisfaction, it just somehow happens to be the morally right thing at that moment. Ichigo is grumpy, loud, and yet he doesn't eat a lot, which makes him go against any tropes that anyone would have any problems with when they're trying to look at Bleach, or deem it as something to be stereotypical. Especially when the main character himself is anything but stereotypical. Ichigo is nothing like Luffy, Naruto, or even Goku. The main character of this manga is no different than the series itself. They can both proudly stand on their own 2 feet because they offer something new and different to the table.